Good morning, students. I am Dr. Ritika, faculty of CSC department, as an associate professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. Today, I am going to deliver the lecture on the subject software engineering, and today we will cover the topic of data flow diagram. So, let's learn about DFD. Now, what is DFD? DFD stands for data flow diagram. So, what is DFD? Now, DFD is a data flow diagram. It is a graphical representation of the flow of data through an information system. It can also be used for the visualization of data processing, that is in the form of structure design. It views a system as a function that transforms the input into desired output. Data flow model, it captures, or you can say data flow diagram, it captures the flow of data in a system. It also helps in developing an understanding of systems functionality. What are the different sources of data, what different transformation takes place on data, and what are final output generated by these transformation. So it describes data originations, transformations, and consumptions in a system. Next, a data flow diagram is traditional visual representation of the information flows within a system. A neat and clean DFD can be a good amount of the system requirement graphically and can be manually automated or automatically or combination of both. So automated and manually, it is the combination of both. What is it? It is a DFD diagrams, and it shows how information enters and leaves the system, what changes the information, and where information is stored. So what is the main purpose of DFD is to show the scope and boundaries of a system as a whole. It may be used as a communication tool between a systems analyst and any person who plays a part in the system, that acts as the starting point for redesigning a system. So, data flow modeling is used to model a system functionality. Following points we will remember. First, data flow model captures the transformation of data between processes or functions of a system. It doesn't represent the control flow information that is occurring in a system to invoke certain functionality. A number of parallel activities are shown in this diagram where no specific sequence among these activities is displayed. The diagram will be explained in next coming slides. So, however, in data flow diagram, we represent only those processes which we need to automate, as they involve certain computations, processings, or transformation of data that can be best implemented using an automated system. For example, if we consider a mail desk in an office which receives mails and just forward it to their respective addresses. In this example, the mail desk does not process the mail, just forward it. Therefore, it does not include any process that need to be automated. Hence, we shall not use data flow diagrams to model the processes. These are the symbols in the slide. These are the symbols which shows how data flow diagram works. This is a symbol of function, and two parallel lines shows how file and database are used, how file is transferred, input and output function is generated by this symbol, and flow is described with this symbol. Now, these are the flow model notations. It is a notation of process. It shows how data and information flow. It shows data storage, and this shows the external agent. Data flow model, some other notations are, these are several notations of the data flow diagram. In this process we follow some shapes, like first is process. Now process means what are different processes or work to be done in the system. It transforms the data. Or a process is a business activity or functions where the manipulation and transformation of data takes place. A process can be decomposed to finer level of details for representing how data is being processed within the process. Now shown in the slide, you can say it is the notation of process, and how process to be ordered is notate, donated by this symbol. Now, next is the external agent. The external agent systems which are outside the boundary of the system, which are represented by the notation by the symbol of square. This is the external agent and this is the customer. So customer may be our external agent or maybe internal agent, both, but it represent by a square symbol. So now next is a data store. Data store represent the storage of persistent data required or produced by the process. Here are some examples of data stores like membership forms, database tables. All are the example related to our data store, where data is being stored for later retrieval. It provides input to the process, and output of the process may be going into these data store. So this shows the diagram of data store and inventory. Now next is the data flow. The data flow represents the flow of information with its direction represented by an arrowhead that shows at the end of the flow connector, where the data is flowing, which represent the movement of data in a data flow diagram. It shows an arrowhead, and how we will use a DFT diagram you can show in this picture also. So here are some illegal data flow notations. Some students use like this: if I want to maintain the data flow diagram, I want to maintain the record of patient, on the record of patient, on the record of hospitality. If I want to design a DFD, so patient is related with data store. It is the wrong representation in DFD. The right representation will be the patient. Then you will design a process is needed to update a data store, and then that is the data store. So it is the right representation and it is the wrong representation of DFD. Now next is the data store. Data store, same, it is the wrong representation. The right representation will be data store. A process is needed to copy data from one data store to another. So this data flow diagram may be useful in inventory control also. So the way of representation will be, the second will be the right and first will be the wrong. So students, remember, when you will draw a data flow diagram, no need to follow the first step, always follow the second step. Now DFD is not a flow chart. So flow chart shows flow of control, where DFD shows flow of data. It is a very important thing. Flow chart shows flow of control, where DFD shows flow of data. So flow chart describes boxes that also show computations, decisions, intersections and loops. It is very important to keep it in mind that data flow diagrams are not flow charts, so they should not include control elements. Now other slide is the difference between data flow diagram and flow charts. Now in DFT, processes on a data flow can be operate in parallel, where in flowchart processes of flowchart are sequential, whereas in DFD looping and branching are typically not shown. In flowchart show the sequence of steps, as an algorithm, and hence looping and branching are the part of flowchart. In DFT, each process path may have a very different timing, but in flowchart it doesn't. Now, next slide is again the difference between DFD and flowchart. In flowchart is used to describe flow of control in a system, which describe control control flow in an algorithm. In flowchart are quite detailed, whereas DFD does not capture control informations or control flow information, so it only shows the flow of data in a system. In flowchart, the sequential activities of an algorithm also be used, which is based on the decisions, loops, iterations. So on the other hand, DFD does not show the sequential activity. Now just display the business flow. As if you visit an organization, business activities are being performed in parallelly. Therefore, in DFD does not contain control or sequence activities, just data transactions is captured. Now another more slides which shows the difference between DFD and flowchart is processes on DFD can operate in parallel, means at the same time. Processes on flow execute one at a time. DFD shows the flow of control through a system, whereas flowchart shows the flow of control. Now, processes on a DFD can have dramatically different timings, maybe daily, week, on demand, it depend upon the all these prospects, where processes on flowchart are part of a single program with consistent timings. Now, what are the steps for creating the DFD diagram? Now, first is create a list of activities, construct context level DFDs, which identifies external entities and their processes. Construct zero level DFDs, which identifies manageable sub processes. Construct level 1 to n DFDs, which identifies actual data flow and data store. Check against rules of DFD. These are the steps for creating DFD. On the basis of these steps, we will cover two examples. First is bank and second is the lemon day. So these two examples we will cover in a slide. Then you get an idea how to draw DFD diagrams. Now next is the example. Data flow diagram, data flow model. Now take an example of bank account management system. In the following, we are presenting a data flow model that describe an account management system for a bank. This data flow diagram consists of the following entities. Now let's see little bit description. First, we shall discuss withdraw funds from an account process. In this process, information about the accounts and account transaction is retrieved from the data stored and bank release the funds. Next, it sends the information to reconcile account balance process, which prepare a monthly account statement. In this statement, information regarding bank accounts and account transactions are described. Now, next is the pay a bill. So, pay a bill is a process through which a creditor pay his dues and the corresponding accounts are updated against the cash transactions. So, a receipt is issued back to the creditor. So, in next step, a deposit funds in an account in which an employer deposits salaries of his employees, and the salary information is deposited in the corresponding bank accounts of the employee. So similarly, income received through other income sources is also received as deposit in the bank. So what will be the processes we will use, what will be the steps we will use to follow the DFD? First is the processes. In this processes we will use reconcile account balance, deposit funds into an account, pay a bill, withdrawal fund from an account, and the external agent will be bank, creditor, employee and other income sources. So in this diagram we have follow the DFD on the basis of our steps, on the basis of our this little bit description. Reconcile amount I have mentioned, deposit fund of account I have mentioned, pay bill, withdrawal. So it is the process related to our bank management. Now next is the bank account management system. Little bit show the processes which we will follow. Now other income, employees, how related to the deposit funds and accounts. Let's start with reconcile account balance. Reconcile account balance is related to their bank account, monthly account statements, account transactions related to reconcile account, and how withdrawal the funds are correlated with bank account. Bank is related to withdrawal funds account. Pay bill may be account transaction, creditor, employee related to their deposit funds into the account, maybe with the help of other sources. So it's a little bit DFT diagram of a bank account management system. Now data store, how we will store the data. Data store will be on the basis of, this is the process where which we will store the data in monthly account statement, bank account and account transaction. It is the way where we store our data. Now creating a data flow diagram of lemon day stand example. Let's take an example of lemon day stand. On the basis of this lemon day stand, we will show you how we will design different levels of DFT. First, creating data flow diagrams. Example, the operations of a single lemon day stand will be used to demonstrate the creation of data flow diagram. So what will be the steps? These are those steps in which we will create our DFT diagram. Again I am repeating the steps. Create a list of activities, construct context level DFDs, construct level O DFDs, or you can say level 0 DFDs, construct level 1 to n DFDs. So on the basis of these level, I will show you how I will design a DFT diagram which is based on the lemon day stand. Now move to the next slide. That is the think through the activities that take place in a lemon day stand. So what will be the activities generated on the lemon day stand? What will be the thing which will recall on my mind? Maybe the customer order, list of some activities, customer order, serve product, collect payment, produce product, store product. All are the some activities on the basis of which we will design our DFT diagram. Next, also think of the additional activities needed to support the basic activities, like create a list of activities where other the activities may be customer order, serve products, collect payments, produce product, store product, order raw materials, pay off raw materials, pay off labor. So he think more and he add more activities related to their DFT diagrams. Next, group of these activities in some logical fashions. Possibly function areas will be, now these will be the same as I have mentioned in previously: customer order, serve products, collect payments, produce product, store product, order raw material, pay for raw material, pay for labor. Same, they are thinking how we will design our DFT diagrams, what will be the steps we will follow, and in these steps what activities will be rise on. Next, exam, create an context level diagram, identify the source and user. So let's start with DFT diagram. Context, construct context level DFT. That is the first level of DFT diagram on the basis of customer order, serve product, collect information, produce product, store product, order raw material, pay of raw material and pay of labor. So let us review customer which order to the Lamande system and production schedule to their employees. It revert back time work and the vendor where it receives good payment or purchasing order. So I have drawn it a first level of context level DFT. Now second on level 0 which identify the logical subsystems which may also exist customer order, serve product, collection, payment, store products, produce products, what will be the raw material, what will how they will pay for raw material, how they will pay for labor. So customer how customer order given, then customer for cost to employees, how employee production schedule to be given on the production, how production served, vendor receives goods, purchase order, then payment to the procedures, payment modes, and how payroll to be done, how employee interact with procedures, and how orders are given, payroll is followed, and what time work. So this is the second level of, you can say, level 0 DFT diagram we will mention. I have draw it in this slide. Now move to the next. It is the creating a level 1 decomposition the processes in level 0 and identify database. The level 0 which I have mentioned back. So in this how we will decompose, how we will add on, that is the level 1, 2 and DFT which identify actual data flow and data stores. So it is based on way same things: customer order, serve products, collect payment, produce product, store product, order raw materials, pay for raw materials, pay for labor. So let us see customer order, maintain record related to customer and order. Now order, served orders, received payment related to their payment mode, product produce, sale products, how request is forecast and how sales forecast. It is the level 1 which shows data flow and data stores. Now in next level 1 decompositions the process of level 0 and same identify the stores. So that is the same process which is based on level 1 in which production order, serve products related to their order, production schedule, what will be the schedule for raw productions of product, produce products, how raw materials are related to their quantity used, production data, what will be the storage data which we have used related to their production schedule, what will be the inventory for quantity produced and location stored. Now in next slide what we will see, same order decisions, what will be the decision on the basis of order, how order purchase, how purchase order to be given, how raw material to be taken on quantity on hand, how received goods, received items may be related to their raw material or purchase order may be received the items also. Now in received item related to their vendors, how payment are related to their vendors, how they pay, how they receive items and how vendors can related their pay, how they pay. So these are the steps related to their level 1 DFD. Now in level 1 DFD other may be added in the continuation form of construction level 1. What will be the time workout, what will the payment request, how payment to be given, same what will be the record time card, employee, what will the employee ID, how time card to be unpaid, on which time they will be paid, the calculated payroll with the help of payroll, where employee pay related to their payments and how payments to be given. So in our next slide let us see how context level 0 and level 1. So I have combined all levels. The students see, we have mentioned in level 0 and level 1, where in level 0 I have started sales, production, procedure of procedure, Then payroll. So sales, record order, received payment. In production, serve products, produce products, store products. Procedure, procedure you can say produce, purchase order, receive items, and payment vendor. Now students, have you noticed that firstly I complete payroll and record time worked, calculate payroll and payment. You have mentioned the 1.0, 2.0, and further they are extended 1.1, 1.2. So means in sale how much item you can include. You have numbering it 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. How much possibilities may be added, how much possibility to generate a DFT diagram you will mention with their name, so it will remove your confusion. So you can see how I have designed DFT diagrams. I have explained two examples. First was the bank management system, which was related to their bank, where employees how employee will receive, withdraw, their how many bank manage the employees details. And the second is the Lemaitre system, where we have designed on context level, level 0 and level 1, and at the end how I will combine all the process which is in front of your slide, in front of your screen. So I think students you have understand how to design DFT diagram, and I think according to this slide you have cleared the difference between data flow diagram and the flow charts. So in flow chart we will show the flow, and in the DFT diagram we will show the flow of data. So a lot of difference between DFD and flow chart. So students, in this slide we have covered our DFT diagram, which is the topic of our unit 1 in software engineering subject of BCA. Now after completion of unit 1 we will move on our unit 2, and the starting of unit 2 with the introduction of software project management and software process management. So our upcoming slide we will read how software processes the management and how management handles the processes related to the software. Now in this slide we have covered our all topics of unit 1, which is related to our DFT diagram. So students, it's all about the DFT, it's all about the unit 1. Now in my next slide we will start the topic related to the unit 2. So students, thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, students.